Hello, everyone out there. My name is Andrea Russo. I'm part of the Microsoft Philanthropy Skills for Social Impact team. I'm the learner content and training lead. I'm excited for you to all join us today. We have a lot of content to get through for delivering AI skills for everyone, navigating the path forward. There is rapid transformation happening, and AI is an opportunity for everyone around the world, and we are here to navigate that forward together. Our responsibility is to help access the AI skills so everyone put AI to work. The opportunity of AI is only meaningful and impactful to the world if everyone has access to the skills and the opportunities. Our mission is to expand those opportunities for people around the world, to empower learners, and to build digital skills and AI skills together. If you want to look at our stats, we've hit 12.6 million learners in 80% of the countries with our Global Skills for Jobs program. Now, as we look forward and we want to enable those future of learners, we plan to hit 25 million learners by 2025. And as we're thinking about this, the opportunity is for everyone. We want all roles, developers, organizational leaders to have those opportunities through those core skills. Now, when we look at the ways in which we're supporting those different individuals, we have these different avenues that we're looking at to expand those opportunities through our core offerings. We're doing this through our learning content and tools, such as Microsoft Learn, LinkedIn Learner, partner content. We're doing this through training programs and our different partners, such as you're here today in our LinkedIn Live training. We also have insights and guidance so that we can think about what is the AI Talent Index looking like, storytelling and thought leadership, so we can hear what are some of the best practices that our partners and organizations are using and utilizing when they think about this rapid transformation. Now, today, I would love to introduce you to my colleague, Simon Johnson from Tablet. Now, Simon is a former ICT and computer science teacher, the author of 100 Ideas for Secondary Teachers, Outstanding Computer Science Lessons. He serves as a senior educational consultant at Tablet Academy. Simon holds multiple Microsoft certifications, including the Certified Educator, Microsoft Innovative Educator Expert. He's a MIE, which is a Microsoft Master Trainer. He's a Microsoft Esports leader. He is certified in the AI 900, Azure AI Fundamentals. Just a really amazing plethora of different trainings that he is an expert in. So before transitioning to teaching, Simon had a successful career as a network manager and later trained as a college tutor with secondary school teacher. Now, today, he is going to talk to you about introducing generative AI. I welcome you, Simon, and look forward to hearing from you today.
Thank you, Andrea, and thank you for the wonderful introduction. So, as Andrea said, I started off as a developer and then moved into college tutoring and then ended up as a teacher and now a consultant. And I've been asked to spend this next hour and a bit to explore what is generative AI and how you can make the best use of generative AI. So AI is everywhere, whether you like it, whether you or not. You can't avoid it. It's helping us to, it's deciding what movies or music to listen to based on past experiences and preferences. It's helping us to write messages and predict what to say next. It's helping us to converse with our digital assistants. You can even find them in cars, helping navigate and play music. So it's absolutely everywhere. You cannot avoid it. But when you think of artificial intelligence, you think of it as being a new thing. Actually, it was Alan Turing back in the 1940s came with the first definition for AI, and that is a computer or robot that can think or process information the same way that a human can. He believed that in his lifetime, computers would be so powerful that they'd rival human intelligence. We're not quite there yet. And then In the 1960s, around 1960s, scientists started to explore the idea of machine learning. So creating machines or computers that can learn from their experience. And that lends itself well and has helped develop generative AI. Um, Scientists then started to explore deep learning, so creating AI machines with nodes or artificial neural networks to try and mimic the brain. Um, and then probably the most recent technology that we're all talking about at the moment is generative AI. So generative AI is any AI that can essentially create new content, whether it's images, text, videos, music, even code from scratch as if it was created by a human. The best way to remember what AI or generative AI can do is to use the three C's. So they are create, so it can create new content. Um, it can communicate, so essentially it's a chatbot, and you have to treat it like that. It's conversational, and we look at how we can utilize that and make the most of that when writing our prompts a little later. And it can also write code as well. Um, I also want to mention large language models. So all generative AI and digital assistants as well are trained on large language models. Essentially, they've been given access to pretty much everything, everything that's ever been written available on the web. And with that, it can classify objects, it can summarize documents, and if we have time, I'll demonstrate how you can actually summarize a PDF in Copilot. It can translate documents. It can generate complete new documents or new text or video or music. And it can also speak to us. So it uses a field of AI called NLP or natural language processing. And that's the area of AI that concentrates on understanding instructions written or spoken. Now, it's hard to deny the impact that AI is having on the world. But with that, we've also got to be aware of some of the ethical responsibilities around the use of AI. I'm going to ask you this question. I don't mean to answer this in the chat, but I want you to think about this. I was on LinkedIn recently, and I read a post. It says the top tools, AI tools, and I think there was 109 AI tools, which is cool. But then I started to ask myself, well, how many of those are GDPR compliant? I think I think in the US is it CCPA, the California Privacy Act. How many of those actually protect your data? How many of those are actually fulfill ethical requirements like fairness and reliability? All of Microsoft's AI applications, including Copilot, follow their 6 key principles. So you have 4 main principles: fairness, reliability and safety, privacy and security, and inclusiveness. And those are underpinned by 2 other areas, which is transparency and accountability. To put this into context, all of Microsoft's AI tools, including Copilot, Microsoft aim to eliminate any biases to make sure it's equal treatment for all users. If you think if AI has access to all the documents that ever been written, all the text ever been written, it also has access to the biases contained inside that too. Also, Microsoft makes sure that all of their AI applications are safe to use and reliable, perform consistently all the time. They also ensure that your data is protected whilst it's training models or while it's producing output, your data protected, particularly if you're using the enterprise version of Copilot, and I'll talk about the differences shortly. Microsoft also makes sure that their AI tools are crafted to be accessible, regardless of physical ability, gender, or ethnicity. Transparency is an important area of AI. As how often do you interact with AI and not even know that you're using AI? And what is that AI doing with the data, and how is it using the information? So Microsoft believes in keeping users informed about how its AI systems work and its intended purposes. And finally, accountability, making sure that someone is accountable for what AI does and how it uses data, and make sure that it is compliant with different legal standards. So, what are the benefits of an AI policy? Going back to that previous slide and thinking about all the implications, especially ethical implications, it's good for, if you're a business, to have an AI policy in your workplace. Now, this is beyond the scope of this session because it's an introduction to generative AI, but something to think about. So if you or your employees, whether you're a school or whether you're a business, if your employers or you're using AI, think about, are you being transparent with the users, be your customers, how you're using the AI? Or if you are using AI, is the technology you're using protecting their data? And are you making sure that anything that the AI produces that you share with your clients, your customers, or if you're a teacher, your students, it doesn't contain any bias or it's discriminatory? So it's good to have an AI policy. If you don't know where to start, Microsoft have working with TechSoup, and they've created a guide. So if you go to aka.ms, I believe this will be in the chat, /AI usage policy guide to TechSoup, you will find lots and lots of guidance on how to create your own policy for the use of AI in your organization. So what is Copilot and what do you get with Copilot? So you've probably all heard of ChatGPT. You get the latest version of that built into Copilot, so version 4. You have an AI-powered web search, and we'll look at the difference between the search engine and Copilot in a moment. If you have enterprise version or powerful version, the premium version, you have commercial data protection, which is really important. Because if you think back when I talked about machine learning, how machines can learn from experience. That's how generative AI improves, and also have these large language models with lots of information. You don't want your personal data or your business data being used to inform those models. So one of the key protections within Copilot is your data protection. And image generation, you get access to DALL-E as part of Microsoft Copilot. So what does this actually look like? So I've got two versions of Copilot, so you can see the difference. This is the personal version of Copilot. Now, to show you the difference between this and a search engine, I'm going to ask it a question. I've always wanted to know the answer to this one. Why is the sky blue? Now, if this was a search engine, it'd go away and it'd give me a list of different websites that potentially have the answer to that question based on those keywords. And then I'd have to click on each link to see the answer. And I'd have to choose by looking at the link, the way it appears in the list and who the author is, to decide whether that's appropriate or not. Let's ask AI. So why is the sky blue? So apparently it's due to something called the, and I hope I get this right, the Rayleigh scattering. So when sunlight enters Earth's atmosphere, it collides with molecules, and it says blue light has a shorter wavelength and is scattered in all directions. And this causes the blue to be more visible to our eyes. So there you go. Now, one thing that people forget about Copilot in particular and generative AI, it is a conversational bot. So you can have a conversation. So looking at that, I might say, well, what other colors are visible? So you've got red and orange during sunset and sunrise. Green, although it's very rare. So you can have a conversation with Copilot. Just having a look at some of the features in here. Over here in the top right hand corner, you have the chat. So here a record of all the chats you've ever had. You can edit these and delete these. If you're in America, you're probably asking what mince pies are. We'll talk about those a little bit later. You've also got your tool for typing in your questions or typing in your prompts. You've got the new topic button. My top tip is, because it's conversational, is that when you want to start a new topic or start a new conversation, explore a new idea, it's good to start a new topic. And then if you're using this is the free version of Copilot, you've got something called the notebook. I often get asked, well, what is this? So when you're learning to prompt Copilot and trying different prompts out, you can actually practice in here. So normally in Copilot, I could write in a prompt. If I don't like the answer, I can rewrite it or ask another question and keep on asking. In Notebook, I can write a prompt and it'll give me the answer live, but then I can refine that prompt and it will update the preview in this window here. So it's a great way to practice mastering writing prompts for Copilot. And then if we look at an enterprise version, you have your chat button up here, new chat. You have your Copilot button on the side, and it's very similar, but the difference with this one is you can switch between work and the web. So you can actually search documents, internal documents, rather than just searching for results on the web. For this demonstration, I'm going to mainly use the free version of Copilot, but everything that I show you and everything that I mention, you can use in any of the different versions of Copilot. So there is an art to writing prompts. So I've just showed you a really simple prompt where I ask Copilot, why is the sky blue? So that is an example of something called a zero-shot prompts. Now, I know we've got teachers on here, we've got developers on here, we've got business, we've got lots of different people on this call. So I'm going to try and make it general and give different examples. Because it's a zero shot, one shot, few shots, it just reminds me of coffee because I'm a coffee lover. Although a zero shot coffee, what would that be? That would be just hot water, wouldn't it? Doesn't taste, doesn't sound very nice. Although I'm sure it's better than cold coffee. Don't even get me started on iced coffees. So what are these different prompts and how are they going to benefit you? So the first one is something called a zero-shot prompt. So this is where we just give it a simple question, no real context, and then it's able to answer. Why is the sky blue is a perfect example of a zero-shot prompt. So imagine I'm a coffee owner or a coffee shop owner. I might want to ask a question like, what are the 5 most popular espresso drinks? Because that might help me with my business. So I go back to Copilot. I'm going to go back to the free version. And I'm going to type in. Now, because I've just been talking about blue sky, I'm going to start a new conversation. It does actually give you some ideas, some prompts up here. So if you don't know where to start, it gives you some ideas of things you can ask. I'm going to ask it, what are the 5 most popular coffee drinks? So we've got espresso. Now, I didn't ask it for a description of each, but it has given me that. So we've got, and some pictures as well. Again, I didn't ask for that, but it's very beneficial. So we've got espresso, cappuccino. You notice when I hover over some of these descriptions, it tells you where it got its information from. So you can always check your sources. And there we have it. And also, if I scroll down to the bottom, you've got learn more. So again, these are the sources it used to create its answer. So you can check those for facts or check them for reliability. So that's a simple one-shot prompt. So zero-shot prompt. A one-shot prompt is a prompt where you give it an example. So it might be that I want it in a particular format, a particular style, or I've got a previous example in my mind of how I want the answer, and I can give that to Copilot to help it understand better. So here's an example. Let's say a coffee shop owner again, and you've got a list of reviews, and you've got a style that you use for responding to those reviews, and you want Copilot to generate some responses for all the other reviews using your style, you can do that. So I'm going to go to my prompts and I get one that I created earlier. So I'm going to go into Copilot and I'm going to say, so here is an example of how we would handle bad customer reviews. So here's the review, an example. I ordered a latte, but it was served cold. Here's an example response. Thank you for bringing this to our attention. We sincerely apologize. Next visit, please come in and ask for a free coffee. And please mention this to our staff and they will be happy to serve you. So I've given it an example of a complaint. I've given an example of one of our responses, and I've asked it to respond to following complaints. So I've got some complaints, although if this was my real coffee shop, I'm sure there wouldn't be any complaints at all. But as I say, the customer is always right. So I'm going to copy some fake complaints into my chat, like so. So we've got someone had cold coffee, someone complained about the seating, someone said the staff were rude, never at my coffee shop. And then if I submit, hopefully it will start to create some responses to my reviews. So let's have a look. So here's the first one. Now I didn't ask it to do this, but it's great. It even included the reviewer's name in there. So thank you for bringing this to attention, Emma. We sincerely apologize. Have a free coffee. Hi, Lemon. We apologize for the inconvenience. Have a free coffee. Can you see the theme? Dear Sophia, we're sorry. Have a free coffee. This is great, but obviously the problem is I only gave it one example. So if this was me and I'm that person, if I went onto a review site and I saw that every single review, every bad review had the same answer, like, hi, we're sorry about that, we apologize for the inconvenience, come in for free coffee. I'm that person who would write a really weird review, like, I'm complaining because they wouldn't wash my socks, something silly, to see if they responded with the same response, or I'd screenshot all the responses, say, you are a bot, you just say the same thing to everyone. So there is a better way, and you can do something called a few shot prompt. So rather than just giving one example, I could then say, oh, here's an example for a bad review about cold coffee. Here's an example of a response we've given to someone who couldn't find seating because it was too busy. And then by giving it lots of different examples, you can then go away and customize its answers. So if we're thinking from a non-coffee shop scenario, if you're a teacher, you could say, here is one of my lesson plans. Can you create a new lesson in my style or using this format? If you're a blogger, you could say, right, here's an example of my writing style. Here's an example of one of my blogs. Can you write a short introduction for my next blog? Or you could say, you can give it an example title. This is the most popular title for my one of my most popular blogs or social media posts. Can you create 10 new titles in a similar style that I can use for my next blog post? So you're giving it examples and then you can create it based on that. Another type of prompting that's very popular is chain of thought prompting. So this takes the idea of, let's say you want a complex answer, so like step-by-step instructions. You can build up the prompts until you get desired result. So, for example, let's say that I've got my 5 popular drinks. If I go back to my chat, so I'll ask the question again. What are the 5 most popular drinks? and it should tell me. So we've got espresso, cappuccino, latte. So I can then develop this and ask it another question. So I can say, okay, I know what a latte is because it's told me, but I could say, what are the ingredients in a latte? There you go. I can then take it a bit further. So I want to make a latte. So I could say, how do, actually, I'm going to say, please, can you tell me? Uh, One of my bugbears with AI is I worry that if people don't say please or thank you, because AI learns from its experiences, its interactions, we can get these AI bots that think it's normal not to say please or thank you. Also, as well, when AI takes over the world, I want it to remember that I always was polite to it. But please, can you tell me how to make a latte? There you go. That's quite detailed. But I can make it even more detailed. I can again reiterate and say, okay, so this time I want you to explain step by step how to make a latte with a latte heart. So you get the ingredients again. And sometimes, if you can find one, it will even give you a video or a link to a video which explains the concept. Um, if you're a teacher, it could be asking the AI for some ideas on how to teach a lesson, some new ideas, and then you can take that concept and ask, okay, so how can you give me step-by-step instructions on how to actually deliver this new activity? If you're a coder or a blogger, I recently learned that you can actually improve your search impressions by using something called an FAQ schema. You can Bing that or ask Copilot. So I asked Copilot how to create it, and it gave me the code, which is great, but I didn't know what to do with it. So I then went back and said, well, can you give me the step-by-step instructions to add this schema to my website? Um, so that's all part of something called prompt engineering. You'll even find jobs on LinkedIn about prompt engineering. Essentially, the key ingredients for any good prompt is to have a goal. So what do you want from Copilot? Provide a context. Why do you need it? Who is involved? Set expectations. So how should Copilot respond to meet those expectations? And also you can provide some source material or some examples. Um, if you're a developer, or a coder, or a technical background, you might recognize, I never know, is it GIGO or GIGO, garbage in, garbage out. If you're not a coder, or if you're a parent or a teacher, you will know if you ask a child to do a simple task, you will get a simple response. Classic example, if I asked, or if you asked a child to empty the dishwasher, in my head, I know that means emptying the dishwasher and then putting all the plates and sauces in the cupboard. But without the context, without those instructions, a child might think emptying the dishwasher is literally taking things out and putting them on the side. I recently saw a video on a popular streaming channel called the jelly bean sandwich. Now, I have no idea what jelly beans are. I don't think I want to know what jelly beans are or whether they should go in a sandwich. You can put it in the chat if you want. But the idea is that this father and his two kids, and he asked them to give him simple instructions to create a jelly bean sandwich. The first instruction was spread the butter. So he got the butter on the knife and he spread it on the table, and the kids said, no, 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 not like that. And they kept on refining the instructions until the dad got it right. And you got to treat computers like that, because unless you tell them specifically what you want, you might not get the correct answer. So one system you can use is this. Now, I'm not big on acronyms. If you go online, you'll find lots of acronyms to help you create prompts. Um, my problem with that is often people will change the words in the acronym to make it sound better or clickable, but it actually loses meaning. And if you try and follow those exactly, you get confused and it confuses the AI. So these are my top tips. Give it a persona. So expert in the field of your so for the output, provide a context. So what extra bits does the AI need to know to get the best results? And then give some boundaries. So that could be, if it's a blog post, number of words. It could be the reading age of the blog post. If it's a lesson plan, how many lessons, how long is the lesson? So there's set your boundaries. So what does that actually look like? So this is an example for the coffee shop owner. So you're a coffee shop owner, that's the persona. Objective, generate and create an effective ideas to boost sales over the festive season. Um, I'm, I'm going to say it, it'll soon be Christmas. It must be because I'm in the UK and you can get mince pies in the shops. I don't know what the American equivalent to mince pies would be. And don't ask me what a mince pie is. Actually, your challenge, go into Copilot and ask Copilot what a mince pie is. When you read the description, it sounds awful, but actually it's really, really nice. I suppose it's pecan pies or pumpkin pies might be the equivalent in the US this time of year. Anyway, content. So the audience is appeal to a wide audience, families, students, local employers, and to get them into the coffee shop. Content, so it would be season promotion with themed products, leveraging the power of social media, and the boundaries would be practical and cost effective, because I don't want all these ideas to actually close my business. So let's have a look what that would look like. So I've pre-created that prompt. I'm going to put that into Copilot. So if I just open up Copilot again, I'm going to keep it in this same conversation because it's all about coffee. So if I paste, so your coffee shop owner, generate creative and effective ideas to boost sales over the festive season. So we've got seasonal promotions. Perfect. Leveraging social media. So I can then take that and I can choose one of those. Holiday drink specials, that's a nice one. Holiday gift packs. Let's choose the festive loyalty card. So I'm going to say, okay, thank you, because I'm being polite. Thank you. Can you create a, let's say Instagram, create an Instagram post to promote our festive loyalty card system. And it should do that. The one thing I love about Copilot is I'm not very good when it comes to adding sparkle to social media posts. I always choose the wrong emoji or emoticon. So I can take that, love that, and I'm going to say, can you add more sparkle? I'm going to put, just in case, more emojis. Right. So here we go. Perfect. So I've got my social media post ready for my festive loyalty card system. So what might this look like for someone else? So I've created a teacher example as well. So I've put here, you're a year 6 primary teacher, that's persona. Create a detailed lesson plan, that's your objective audience, suitable for year 6 or grade 6 or whatever you are. And then content, I want to create a lesson on alliteration. You can even specify what specification you're using, what standards you're using if you're in the US. And then I've said boundaries. This is how long the lesson plan needs to be. It's only 60 minutes, and I want you to include materials, resources, and step-by-step instructions. One top tip is whenever you're using AI, it's called Copilot, and I think Microsoft deliberately named it Copilot because it's not autopilot. You're still in control. So whenever you get your responses, read through the response to make sure it's accurate and it sounds correct. Make sure that you click on the sources to make sure the sources are suitable and reliable, and keep on iterating. So keep on, and if you don't like the answer, keep on asking it more questions to get better responses. So what can you do with Copilot? You can summarize documents. I'll actually demonstrate that because it's really, really powerful. When I learned about this, it made me smile because someone said to me, "Did you know you can talk to PDFs?" And I just looked at them blankly. I said, "You can do what?" So you can talk to PDFs. I've actually had better conversations with PDFs than I had with real people. But one of the nice features in Copilot is if you open a PDF, you get the Ask Copilot button. And I can actually select this page. So I start a new chat. Like so. And I'm going to say this page or this site. I'm going to say, what are the key takeaways this document? So imagine that you've been given a policy document with 1 million pages and you've got to read it by Monday morning and summarize it. Or if you're a teacher, it might be a new specification that you're teaching. You want to know how it's different to the last specification. If you're a blogger, it might be an article on LinkedIn on how to, SEO settings. You don't want to read the whole thing, but you want to find the key points. So here we are. So we've got SMART goals, understand your audience, create content calendar. Oh, that's good. So again, you can interrogate it in the same way because it's conversational. You can say, okay, what is a content calendar? So again, it'll search this document. So we've got a calendar for scheduling posts, and I can ask for some top tips as well. That's really, really cool feature. You can talk to PDFs. So go back to examples. You can use it to compose an email, respond to an email. You can compose a social media post. I just gave an example for the coffee shop. Generate images. We're going to look at that in a moment. Learn new skills. Ask Copilot to teach you how to play the guitar, or make a latte, or latte art to impress your friends. And you can also get answers for specific and complex questions. Always use AI responsibly. So always cross-check and verify your information that's been generated by AI. Make sure that the AI you're using is data compliant, and make sure that you're careful about what you supply to the AI. So even though Enterprise Edition has data protection, always be careful about what data you supply and what you use. And keep up to date with the latest developments in AI and ethical considerations. I'm going to share some links at the end of this session where you can find that out. So what prompts are you most interested in creating yourself? So I'll put that slide back up so you can post in the chat. Are you going to try out the talk to PDF feature? Are you going to use it to compose or reply to email? Are you going to go away and start generating some social media prompt posts? Are you going to actually ask Copilot what are mince pies? Um, are you going to use it to generate images? We're going to demonstrate it in a moment. Or are you going to use it to learn a new skill? As I said, I recently learned about SEO settings and how to create FAQ schema markups. Brilliant. Um, if you if you ever struggle sleeping, I can share some great documents for that one. But lots and lots of ideas. Let's have a look, see if there's anything in the chat. Nothing at the moment. I do want to know what your opinion on mince pies are. Say if you read what they are and read the instruction and how to make them, it doesn't sound very nice. And tell me what is the US equivalent? I'm guessing it's pecan pie. So I mentioned several times that also I've got someone here. So Christopher's going to leverage the talk to PDF feature. Fantastic. Andrew's going to get some answers to specific questions, complex questions. Alexis agrees with the please and thank you comment. Always be polite to any technology, not just AI. Fantastic. So I mentioned that as well as generating text, it can also generate images. So this is the first image that was shared with me when I was told about text to image AI. And it was a picture of a cute kitten wearing roller skates, because everyone wants to see a cute kitten wearing roller skates or a panda on a surfboard. Who doesn't? But then I thought, that's great and that looks cool, but how is that going to help me? So there are lots of ways you can use AI to generate images, and there's lots of benefits from each. So one way you can actually create an image is using the chatbot. So if I go back to my chat, I use the enterprise version here. I could type in a message like create an image of a cat, because we're talking about Christmas, in a, actually, I'm going to put photorealistic, create a photorealistic image of a kitten, because kittens are better. I'm not going to get into the debate on what's better, cats or dogs. Not again. Image of a kitten in a festive hat. And it'll go and do that. And it'll create, usually creates up to 4 images that you can choose from. Pick your favorite. To give you some other examples, so I often get asked, well, how can I use this in my business or use it in my teaching? So let's have a look at the pictures first. So, ooh, there we go. That's one. I quite like that one. Yes, I like that. So you can use it for marketing materials. So if you've just created your Facebook post or Instagram post or LinkedIn post to promote my coffee shop again and the latest deals, you can use the AI to create an image for that. I was working with a college recently where the students were using the generative AI to come up with prototypes. It was a bakery. So a customer would come in and say, I want a cake design for my son. His favorite color is blue and he loves dinosaurs and he's 8. And they use the generative AI to come up with ideas based on the customer's requirements for a cake. And then they use that as an idea to help them create their cake, rather than just going searching online for examples of cakes. It's also great at creating or bringing images to life. So as well as a text version, you can also use Bing Image Creator. So if you go to bing.com/images/create or Bing Image Creator, you can do it through that. So let's go back to my coffee shop example. So you're a coffee shop owner, create an image suitable for Instagram, or actually it's suitable for social media. To promote a new festive coffee range. So I click on create, and again, it will do that. It's great at bringing things to life. So if you're a teacher, for example, I used to say, how can you ask a child to visualize something from text from a book if they've never experienced that? So it might be um, a great example is To Kill a Mockingbird. I think it's describing Alabama, describing the tired old town. If you've never seen a tired old town, how do you know what it looked like? So you can use the AI to bring that image to life. Here's my coffee examples. Oh, quite like that one. One thing to be aware of, it's not very good at the moment with text. It is getting better, and I'm sure that's copyrighted branding, maybe. But there is a better way, and I'm going to show you that now. So I'll show you Copilot in Bing, Image Creator, the text-to-image tool within Copilot itself. But there's also a tool called Microsoft Designer. Now, at the moment, you can only sign in using a personal Microsoft account. So you can't use this with your business or school account at the moment, but you can set up a Microsoft account for free. So I'm signed in with my personal account, and it has Copilot and AI built in. So I can create with AI, so I can create an image in the same way as we just did. It also has some templates. So you can design personalized avatars. And the way it works, if I click on this avatar, it gives you a template, and all these in blue, you fill in the gaps, and it will create the image in this style. So in this case, it's like a 3D Pixar cartoon character wearing the clothes that you choose. I think this is a steampunk robot style. So you can create avatars for yourself, for your social media, for your blogs. You can also create cards. So it's almost Halloween, and then Christmas will be just around the corner. So you can create some thank you cards or invitation cards using this. But you've also got at the top, you can create invitations, icons, wallpapers, and also social media posts. So I'm going to click on social media posts, like so. It'll ask me what do I want. So I can add some images. So I can add those images that I've just created in Copilot, but I'm going to just create my own. So I'm going to take my description from Copilot. So this is the festive holiday cards. Like so. And I'm going to go into Copilot and ask it to create an Instagram post. And there are other popular social platforms as well. Instagram post to promote latest coffee award program. And I'll give it a little bit extra information. It doesn't really matter, but the more information you give it, the better. So it'll then go away and it'll come up with some ideas. Now, the great thing with this is if you're not happy with them, you can then either change the prompt, add more or less detail, or you can get to refresh and try some more. Very hypnotic watching the go back and forth. There we go. So we've got some ideas. Oh, quite like that one. Get festive with our holiday loads. So this is better with text. So if you're creating marketing material, um, Designer is better because it's better with text. It'll still create your images. You can still use the images you've created using Bing or using Copilot. I'm going to choose that one. I quite like that one, especially the latte art. And there I've got my message. So I can either download it or I can edit that and I can improve that. So we'll open it up in Designer. I could add new elements. I can change the picture. I'll also suggest new ideas. You can also, so once you've created your idea, you can change the text as well. And you can change, there's lots of different fonts you can use. What we got here, that looks very festive. Oh, can't read that. Let's try that one. And I can make it bigger. There we go. So once you've got your design, you can either download it or you can connect Designer to your LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram account. So if I look what it looks like on Instagram, so there is my image, and I think I can copy my text from a social media post straight from Copilot into Designer, like so. And this is what it'll look like. So that's what it looked like on LinkedIn. That's what it looked like on Instagram. This is one I created earlier. So again, if I share that, I'm putting my text. Now, at the moment, it only supports business Instagram accounts and Facebook pages, which are easy and free to create, or LinkedIn. But there's nothing stopping you from just downloading the picture, copying the text, and then pasting it straight into your social platform. And it works lots of different platforms as well. So there's just a few ways that you can use Copilot with DALL-E and the designer and the image creator to create marketing materials for your projects. So it could be a new banner for your blog, it could be a new post to promote product, or it could be some Halloween invites to impress your friends. So those are 3 ways. So using the text prompt, using Microsoft Designer, and also using Bing. Top tips for generated images: use the form, adjective, noun, verb, and style. So, for example, green Amazon jungle, glowing at a sunset in pixel art style. You can actually choose different styles. So you can choose your favorite artist. You can also choose the style where it's black and white, color, pop art, anything that you like. So some things to consider when creating your images. So generative AI will follow patterns but create unique responses. It's not perfect. So as we saw with the Bing example and the Copilot example, it's not very good with text, which is why if you're using lots of text, use Copilot and Bing to create an image for your project. But then if you want to add text, use Designer, or just start from scratch with Designer and it'll suggest some images for you, and you can use your images as well and your own personal images. When we talked earlier about the Microsoft principles and about transparency, it's really important that when we are creating anything with AI, whether it's a response, a reply, a post, or an image, that we tell people that that was created with AI, just for transparency purposes. So the customer or the client, or if we're working with students, they know. So model best practice. and adjust your prompt to adjust the output. So if you don't like the image, you can change the prompt, change the style, add more detail. I also find as well, this is a top tip, Copilot, you can actually use Copilot to create prompts to get better results from your images. So if you're not getting what you want from the image, you can use Copilot to rewrite or make your prompt better and to get better results in your image creation. That's my top tip. You get that for free. So again, as with anything, whether you are using the AI to create text, whether you create images, always check for accuracy. So remember, it's Copilot, not Autopilot. You're always in charge. So make sure you check your sources. Model digital citizenship. So make sure you're letting people know that you're using AI to generate your content or where it's been used. And remember AI usage guidelines. So if you haven't got a policy, in your company, think about that and think about how your use of AI impacts on your employees or your customers. And if you're not sure and you want to recap on responsible AI, Microsoft have a link. So it's aka.ms/RAI. So hopefully that has given you a taster of where to start, how to improve your prompt writing. So remember those different styles, one-shot prompt. So you've got a zero-shot prompt where you just type in something and ask a question. One-shot prompt where you give an example of what you're looking for. Few-shot prompts if you want to give it several examples to make the responses more varied. Chain of thought where you keep on iterating and changes those responses until you get the desired outcome. Remember, it's a conversational bot. And remember, check your sources and remember, you're always in control. But if you've enjoyed this and you want to find out more, Microsoft have an absolute ton of resources. So for users, we've got a number of resources on LinkedIn. So we've got the LinkedIn Generative AI Pathway. You've got the Productivity with Gen AI Learning Pathway and Digital Skills Compass. To show you what that looks like, if I just open up here. So this is the careers pathway. So as you can see, you've got several courses. So starting with what is generative AI, looking at the evolution of thoughtful online searching. By completing all the courses, you get a badge as well. Who doesn't love a badge? We also have our developer pathways. So for creators of large language models and AI tools and technology, you've got the software development path, you've got the LinkedIn administrative learning pathway, an AI collection for developers. For organizations and organization leaders, we've got the LinkedIn AI path for organization leaders, for managers, and AI collection. All these resources can be found in the Digital Skills Resources Hub. I believe this will be posted in the chat, but you can access that by going to aka.ms/Digital Skills Hub. So you can access all the resources here. There's also a ton of resource collections, including on Microsoft. So you've got the digital literacy resources. If you're not a member of Learn, I highly recommend that you join. So most of the certificates that Andrea mentioned I had at the start were through following the courses on Learn. Not just AI, there's tons more, but on there you'll find, and I'll show you what this looks like. So if I go back to my page, so this is Learn. So here you have pathways to learning more about how to use Copilot and make the most out of Copilot and generative AI. Also keep an eye out for these skills challenges. So sometimes you'll get badges by completing the skills challenge. You usually have like 2 or 3 months to complete all the courses, all the modules, you get a badge. Sometimes they even offer free passes for certification, which is how I got the AI 900. I completed one of the challenges. I went through the entire course, took the exam, which I had a free pass for, and I got my AI 900. So keep an eye out for those AI skills challenges. They're really, really cool. And then finally, we've got lots of training resources too. So we've got, just like today's session, so AI explained on demand demos, live training on demand demos, and virtual training days that you can sign up for. And if it's already passed, you can sign up for free to access the recording.
Wow. What an amazing session. I would love everyone to give some digital claps for Simon. So fantastic. I love his examples and was able to like really follow it through, and I can see how it's applicable in so many different avenues. Mince pies are delicious. I feel like when I went to London, I had to like get a jar of the sauce and like just put it on toast. So I fantastic. So thank you all for joining. I hope you enjoyed the session as much as we did. I did. And thank you so much, Simon, for really a highly informative, highly engaging session. And have a lovely rest of your day.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.